Hey everybody, how you doing? AmpRepairGuy.com here. Please like, share, and subscribe at the end of the video if you'd like. We really appreciate it. Okay, so here's the amplifier again. As you can see, the knob was scratching the front panel. I will show you the vacuum variable that I removed. As you can see, it's like pretty much empty now. Here's the vacuum variable. You notice, if you look really carefully, you can see where see right there, the little mark, right at the edge, that's where the knob set screw was catching. So the knob was out as far as possible. If I turn it, you can see no other marks. You had the plate tune capacitor up top here, and you want to keep the path between the plate tune cap, the C1 cap, and the tube grid, or grids depending on how many tubes you have in this amp. You have 3 tubes, as short as possible electrically. I'll be changing that up a little bit. You know, you can run into issues with parasitics due to that, especially on the higher frequencies. Like I said, that's all published online. So I noticed on the top cover and the side covers that they're painted both sides. So the top cover was completely isolated from ground. You know, if you think about it, you put your screw through. The screw's connected to ground through these inserts, but it's touching the back of the head of the screw is touching up against the paint. So that was the top. Then we have the sides. Also paint on the edges. You get with the side panels at least, you get a partial connection from between here and the side with the screws in, and the back panel and bottom cover through the screws. So I'll have to clean all that off. I ended up installing the blower like I said I would. Cut a hole, put some silicone between the flange and the metal so no air will escape. Had a couple holes that the flange overlapped, so I filled those with some epoxy. I'll show you the bottom. So the air variables for the input circuit have looks to be a grade 8 zinc plated washer between the ground and the chassis. That's not good. I'll be removing those. Also makes connection over here, but you know, if I were to have installed these, I would have taken a like a ring terminal or something and made a connection between the ground tab on each air variable to the chassis. So if one of these were to have loosened up, I like really strong ground connections. I don't want to have to worry about an intermittent ground connection, so that's what they're there for. They didn't put them there for show, so these really should have been connected to ground. So, forgot to add that he has a 15 amp breaker on here, which was protecting the filament transformer and that little DC supply. Ran into another box. Guy had a breaker like this, and actually ended up taking out the plate transformer when the tube flashed. So it's really important to have the right size fuse. I like using fuses instead of circuit breakers because breaker takes longer to pop than a fast blow fuse. You can end up drawing more current through it and probably end up drawing more than 15 through this for a short period of time before it pops. So if you have something that draws like an amp or two, you know, you end up cooking the thing it's protecting. You know, like let's say you put a short on the secondary of the filament transformer, you probably end up cooking the filament transformer before the breaker popped. So the AC line came through this connector right here. Like I said in the other video, didn't have a neutral, just had hot and ground, so I'll have to reconfigure this. Here's the ground, here's the hot. This will all be coming out. Just haven't taken it out yet. The connections for the blower, new connectors. I had a guy bring in a 3.5 Z amp, 3-tube 3.5 Z amp not too long ago, another ham. He had one of these connectors overheated, center pin ended up shorting, and he took out his output relay, flashed the variable on the load side, and damaged one of his tubes. So I use Teflon. I mean, it's not 100% necessary for the input, but always at least the output on something like this. Only like $2 or $3, so silver plated Teflon. Now, if anyone has any questions about anything I've said, please feel free to ask. When we work on something here, we're either going to make it right, or we're not going to work on it at all. We don't want to see it coming back. We want to see the customer use it for years without any issues. So here's the old high voltage meter. Like I said, I'm putting a grid current meter in, a working grid current meter, along with the plate current meter. So I want to show one other thing. Be right back. Okay, so these are the resistors that I call diodes by accident. I'm always trying to rush when I make my videos. They are not the proper type. You have 3 in series. You have the total be positive across them. So these resistors are not rated for over 1 kV. If they were to flash, you would end up with the full potential of the plate on this meter. I've seen it happen before. The meter face pops right off, and if someone were to have their hand right there, bad, really bad. Thanks for watching. A lot more videos to come. Have a blessed day.